I have this pie in the sky theory, Lee, and I admit it's just a theory, that I believe the system is forcing the Bidens out. I've believed that for months now. I've been saying it on air. I think they want Gavin Newsom. I think Biden is too old, too stupid, brain too gone, too much baggage. And so he's not as useful as he used to be. And the only reason any of this stuff's getting any exposure at all is because the system's done with him. It's not because of Republicans. Am I crazy?
Well, that's not how I see it. You opened with that very interesting bit from the foreperson from the grand jury in Georgia, and I take that as evidence that the justice system, like most of the country, frankly, certainly the elites, have become pathologized. And if you look at the woman who is the jury person, she's clearly pathological. I believe that the ruling order now is pathological, and Joe Biden is a perfect representation of that. If you look at the different policies they've pushed, they have no reason to be concerned, but they love Joe Biden. He's opened the borders. He's pushed climate change agenda. He's gone after Donald Trump like a third world dictator. So again, I also see Joe Biden as an avatar for lots of stuff going on behind the scenes. And that's frankly the reason they pushed out Bernie in 2020. The problem is not policy. Joe Biden was not moderate compared to Bernie Sanders. The issue is that Bernie Sanders is still more than 50% present and cognitively aware. It's behind Joe Biden that a large network topped off by former president, the 44th president of the United States, Barack Obama, has been able to do a whole bunch of different things behind the scenes without ever having to take responsibility for it. And with Gavin Newsom, look, Gavin Newsom is certainly a progressive, but Gavin Newsom is also actually there. So they'd have to find some way to wrestle down Gavin Newsom and make him do things that, who knows, he might not want to do. But no, I am pretty positive that Joe Biden is going to be running in 2024. Jesse, I love your idea, because the way that I see your idea is it's saying that things are normal right now in our country, and Democratic Party bosses and others look around at Joe Biden, they go, this is incredible. We can't possibly run this guy again. This guy is, he's not only in cognitive decline, he's incontinent. He can't finish a sentence. He can barely walk straight. But that's not where we are right now. It's not a normal moment in American history or American politics. So I fully expect to see Joe Biden at the top of the ticket in 2024 as further evidence that the ruling party, that our ruling establishment, is pathological.
Gosh, you're probably right too, and that scares me. Lee, talk to me about this network behind Joe Biden. Unpack this as best you can for us. You wrote a book, The Plot Against the President, and so many of those actors are part of that network. Talk about it.
Well, Jesse, it started, this isn't that recent, but it started occurring to me over the last couple of years. After Plot Against the President, we were all talking about Hillary Clinton funded the dossier. It was about the Hillary Clinton campaign, and Hillary Clinton's hands were all over it. And they were. Hillary Clinton should be held responsible for it. But one of the things that we've overlooked on this count is that Barack Obama at the time was president of the United States. And these were Barack Obama's spy chiefs, James Comey, John Brennan, James Clapper, and all the top levels underneath them. These were all Obama's people, right? And in 2017, when Barack Obama had the dossier, right, and the Russiagate story stamped with the government's official seal of approval, with John Brennan's 2017 intelligence community assessment, that was Barack Obama's way of driving the United States against each other, right? Who would do such a thing to leave on his successor, right? Not just a campaign dirty trick, not just saying his successor was a rat fink, and of course no other presidents have done anything like that, but to leave an information operation, information warfare, to stamp it with a government seal of approval that in fact Trump's presidency was illegitimate because he'd been helped by Putin. Trump's supporters were illegitimate because they voted for a traitor, right? And in effect, to drive the country against each other, to drive the country into madness. That was Barack Obama. Barack Obama did that, and there's nothing hidden about it. It's just you and me and normal Americans who are saying that this can't possibly really have happened. A president of the United States cannot intentionally have designed to drive the country into a third world dungeon by stamping an information operation like this, like Russiagate, with the government seal of approval. That's what happened. And I think, Jesse, I think that you're probably optimistic too, as an American. You're optimistic about our future in lots of ways. Things are bad now, but we're Americans. We play hard. We're resilient and resourceful. I'm fully optimistic, but to get there, we have to understand what the story is. It might be convenient at different times to talk about the deep state, but the people who are calling the shots aren't the unelected bureaucrats. There are real people with real power on top of this. And it's not just the money people, too, like George Soros or Bill Gates. There are political figures, and they want it known they're there. That's why Barack Obama has stayed in Washington, D.C., the first president since Woodrow Wilson stayed in Washington, D.C. And Wilson couldn't leave because he had a stroke. He couldn't move. There's a reason that Barack Obama has decided to stay in Washington, D.C., and that's because he's calling the shots. And all we have to do is listen to what he's saying and to listen to what people around him are saying, because he sticks his hand up often enough to say, this is me right here. I'm doing it. Last week, before Donald Trump on those January 6 charges, Obama leaked a story to the Washington Post about how he had lunch with Biden in the middle of June, and in which he claimed, I'll do anything in my power to help Joe Biden defeat Donald Trump. The way I read that was as a not very secret message that Barack Obama is running the show. And this is what he does every once in a while. He lets his, not half of America, not all Democratic voters, but the people who are firmly within Obama's faction, he lets them know that he's there, he's running the show. So that's what I think is going on. And to come back to Biden, I don't think Joe Biden's going anywhere in 2024, assuming he survives it, right? He's clearly not doing well. Assuming he survives it, he's the candidate. Much worse for the country.
Yeah. You want to watch our special on George Washington? It's freaking awesome. Well, you can. All you have to do is become a First TV supporter. That gives you access to all of our specials on demand, and it's cake. All you have to go to is thefirsttv.com/support. Thefirsttv.com/support. Become a supporter. Enjoy learning about George Washington.